Welcome. Today in this video we are trying to understand what a yield curve is, different shapes of the yield curve and in particular what an inverted yield curve is. In last few days there has been a lot of discussion on yield curve, its inversion and doomsday predictions based on it. So let's start. What is a yield curve? A yield curve is a graph in which interest rate offered by bonds of the same issuer are plotted against their time to maturity. Here is a graph depicting a yield curve. The x-axis contains time to maturity and y-axis contains the interest rate, yield. In simple words, it's a graph that depicts the interest rates a buyer of bond would receive for different investment periods. Shapes of yield curve. It is a simple observation of the yield curve graph. It has had predictive powers in the past on future interest rates and upcoming economic activity. Normal, upward sloping yield curve. It indicates a longer tenure bonds offer higher interest rates than shorter tenure bonds. Inverted/downward sloping yield curve. It indicates that the shorter term bonds offer higher yields than the longer term bonds. Now let us look at some real-world examples. First, let us consider Government of India bonds with yields as on the 30th of May 2019. The first column indicates the time to maturity and the second column indicates the interest rates offered by those bonds. A simple visual analysis indicates the yields offered increases as the time to maturity increases. This can be mathematically checked using spread calculations. Here the yield offered by 10-year bond is subtracted by yields offered by 6 months and 2-year bonds. Here the difference between 10-year and 3-month bonds is 0.96% and that of difference between 10 years and 2 years is 0.69%. Thus we can confirm that the yield curve is positive, upward sloping, indicating a growing economy. The second example is that of US government bonds. The first column again indicates the time to maturity and the second column indicates the interest rates offered by those bonds. A simple visual analysis indicates the yields offered decreases as the time to maturity increases. This can be mathematically checked using spread calculations. Here the yield offered by 10-year bond is subtracted by yields offered by 6 months, 1-year and 2-year bonds. Here the difference between 10-year and 3-month bonds is minus 0.07% and that of difference between 10 years and 1 year is minus 0.03%. However, the difference between 10-year and 2-year bond is 0.16%. From the spread calculation one can observe that the yield curve is inverted or negatively sloped. Now coming to the big question. Is negative/downward sloping curve a fair indication of recession? When the yield curve inverts, it's not the time to borrow money to take a vacation to Goa. It is the time to save, to build a cushion. Bond yields around the globe are falling too, which suggests investors remain concerned that the impact of a US-China trade war will have wide implications. Though the yield curve inversion has predicted recession accurately each time it has occurred, there has been a considerable delay between the inversion and the actual occurrence of recession. Also, with extraordinary monetary policies and large printing of US dollar, does the inversion of 10-year and 3-month bonds still have predictive power? Only time will answer.